What's up, competitive Halo fans? Do you ever have games where you feel like you're slaying the shit out of the opposing team, but you can't figure out why you can't score the objective, or you're killing them and you're killing them and you're killing them, and it always seems like there's one more cockroach to kill is crawling out from under the woodworks? Today's video is probably going to be the type of video you need to help get over that hump, because it's about the single most important aspect of competitive Halo, and that's space. And I'm not talking about outer space where the Halo ring is, where the Covenant come from. I'm talking about the space you as a Spartan occupy and the space you control on the map. And to talk about that control of space, I'm actually going to use some of my own gameplay for once. I don't do that often because, honestly, I suck at this game. My brain in the game does not reflect my thought processes outside of the game. My decision making just dies. My thumbs don't do at all what I tell them to. It's been a problem for many a decade at this point. But still, this particular Empyrean Capture the Flag game I'm going to go over had some great examples of controlling space in key moments to enable flag captures. So I thought it was a great opportunity for me to make a video about the one resource in Halo I talk about the most, and that's space. So without further ado, I'm going to pull up the film here and start to go over, starting with a specific play. This is about 3 minutes into the game, or 2.5 minutes into the game, so rockets are just coming up. You can see enemy silhouette on the side there. Just picked up the rockets. I have two teammates both pushing that player. And then a player I thought was running the flag that I noticed just before this was not actually running, so he's in the process of trading kills. He dies, one player dies, or the enemy next to him dies, and another player breaks off for this flag. So now I need to focus on these rockets, and I hear both of those rockets fire in green hall. So in this situation, switch over to this shotcall.app right here. It has a good overhead of Empyrean Capture the Flag. So I know one of my teammates is dead, one of their players is dead. One of their teammates just emptied rockets inside green hall, and he killed another one of my players. The last player on my team is grabbing the flag, and I'm right here. So right now, the most important space on the map regarding this flag capture is this entire corridor that heads back to the flag. The player that's in green has the ability to stop my flag carrier. So my job in this situation is to cut off the space he can control and make sure he cannot actually affect this flag carrier. So I just run straight to green hall in this situation, because all I want to do is cut off any space he might be controlling. And fortunately for me, he was already one shot, so I get a very easy free melee on this situation. And now that he is taken care of, my only job is to protect all of that same corridor from anyone else trying to enter it. So all I have to do is chill somewhere in this area and watch for any spawners coming off of the courtyard side of the map. Make sure they don't get to my side of the map. So naturally, I just kind of chill on their side for a little bit. Look for anybody that may have been spawning. I get caught off guard regardless. He spawned top tower instead of down low. And I die, but I bought time for him. Now we're going to skip ahead a little bit. 420 mark. Find me. Shit. Sorry. I'm even bad at controlling cameras, apparently. I am not Nighty Night, #1 observer in Halo. So here, I'm top tower. I'm going to take a look around the map real quick. We have one player getting ready to run the flag. Two players on our plat. I think I have someone else with me top tower, and I don't know what the rest of the situation is for my team, as none of them appear to be visible. They're probably both dead. So we're going to look at my POV for just a moment. I stupidly jump out and challenge this. This is a very bad challenge. Throwing away my life, but fortunately they miss shots as much as I do. I get an assist on one pick. Other player I shot falls as well. And now that means the flag carrier was the last relevant player on that play for them. So we're going to erase everything I had drawn so far and reset what we have on the map. Here we have me somewhere around training after getting away from that first fight. I have two teammates that are coming from around sword, and they have the flag carrier right there. Two dead players. I don't know where the last player that was came from. But now the most important corridor on the map is their route to the flag. So what we need to do as a team is to push into a way that gets ahead of his route, ahead of his flag route, and cuts it off completely. So the best way to do that is to just bisect it completely. Cut him in half, meet him at the halfway point, and then if he happens to break the line of sight, from there our job is to just treat this flag zone as sort of a goal we're trying to be a soccer goalkeeper for. Or if you ever watched American Gladiators, the Powerball game, you'll see gladiators just stand between the bucket that the contenders try to put the ball in and the contender themselves. It's just trying to make it so the contender has to find a way around them first. And that's essentially what you're going to see me end up doing right here. Like we stall the flag carrier, he gets into this corridor, but then I'm trying to position ahead of him to constantly keep my body between the flag and its ultimate destination. So like, we don't get the kill, partially because I stumble. And then we're in position, like we did actually get the kill, but I'm then getting ahead of the flag route just in case he did break that line of sight and stay alive, so that even if he gets out, I'm ahead of where he wants to be, so it's an easy kill for me. He can't do anything except run away. So I'm going to stick with this, just kind of fast forward for a moment. I get a couple of double kills to open up this next flag. I'm going to rewind and go over that one, because this was actually a good play for me. Ego time. Sometimes you gotta pat yourself on the back. That helps you get the dopamine necessary. Like, my team is running the flag toward the long haul side, so I know I need to fight these spawners that are coming off courtyard side. Put myself in position to do that. One other player is coming from down low. I happen to flick stick him, so that's really good for me. Even if I didn't get the kill, I have a teammate on bridge who's also controlling space. Like, this is a great example from my other teammate of also being in the right place at the right time, because he was helping me close this side of the map to make it so that all we have to worry about is this corridor, which we've already gotten the flag progressing down. So this is just, again, great job by the rest of my team, and just a great example of controlling space. We're going to fast forward a little bit longer. I know this player was trying to get through runway here. Cut him off. He ended up going to sword. I kind of just forget about him because our flag has stopped at this point. He got killed from behind. And that player I forgot about has now dropped me to no shields. So my new job is to do the exact same thing I was doing to stop their flag, but instead do it to help get my team's flag into the base. So instead of guarding this bucket, I'm now guarding this bucket. And instead of guarding it from something being deposited in it, I'm guarding it from being taken from. I know they have a player that is somewhere around my tower, and I'm currently pinned on training. So all I have to do is make sure that this blue dot does not make it here. So my job is to just play this space. I am just here to deny this space in this situation. I see he doesn't lift tower, which actually surprises me. And then as soon as I see him come through cuts, I'm not worried about fighting him. I'm not trying to position myself to be behind him. I am keeping my body as close to being ahead of the flag as I can. And now all I have to do is make sure he dies, or at least gets one shot, so that my team who are running the flag can drop the flag, shoot him, kill him, and then deposit the flag. I just have to make sure he does not get to touch this small point. And I get a trade. And that trade is a win for my team because it enables that flag capture. Now we're going to skip ahead a little bit more to the 7-minute mark. All I am once again coming off respawn. I actually went negative in this game, but I felt like the moments that I played, I was making good plays. And I'm going to rewind again just a little bit. Gotta find exactly when I come off spawn because this was a split-second decision. There. Alright, so as I am coming off spawn here, I have one teammate that is in our flag, one teammate that's in their flag. Wait, this does not look right. Okay. I have one teammate, I'm very confused, who is by our snipe tower. They have a player at the bottom of our snipe tower. They have 2 players going in for our flag, and we have 1 player going for their flag, who also has an enemy near him in this situation. And the moment I realize my teammate who is trapped in our flag is dead, I know they have 2 people pulling our flag. I see this other player is getting a pick down low of our tower, but I know we are also getting a pull on their flag. So if I try to go fight these 2 players, I'm likely going to get melted and die. It's easier for me to just get ahead of their flag and stall it that way and open up space for our flag carrier to get back to our side. So instead, I'm just focused on pushing over here. And because I make this decision, as our flag carrier pulls it out, he actually makes a great decision as well, pulling it all the way into needles, which makes the player chasing him have to expose for longer. And it actually buys me time to get 2 shots into that player and set my teammate up for that melee. Then I know exactly what this flag carrier timing is. I get a perfect grenade waiting for him. And then my other teammate gets the melee, sets me up for the double kill. Our flag's running in. The moment that space is clean, I keep my body between it. We get another pick. This flag is 100% going in. But like once I know my flag carrier isn't going to have any shots in his back, I immediately go toward training. And it's not because, oh hey, I think there's a player training. It's because I specifically need there not to be a player training because that's the only position that can still somewhat contest our flag carrier. So in this particular situation, players are likely to be coming from the blue courtyard. They would be getting on a bridge. That's their biggest threat. So I'm just trying to get ahead of that space so I can be ready to protect it if necessary. We have one more moment in this game that will go over. It's basically the very end of the game here. We have a minute remaining. I come off spawn once again. I spent a lot of time dead this game, which I shouldn't have. But I see my flag carrier is running the flag toward the courtyard. But what I also see is I have a teammate who is on green pushing toward needles. So I know he's going to be blocking these spawns. So if there's anyone on the enemy team that's going to be spawning, they're likely going to be spawning courtyard. And that's a split-second realization, but because I can be aware of that, I can see where the 2 players on my team are. I know what's being blocked. So anyone coming off spawn is my job to deal with. I immediately go bottom bridge, and the moment I turn this corner, I'm already looking at that spawner. I'm putting shots in him. I got 2 shots in him again. And for the second time this game, my flag carrier, same exact person, Blood Red Trini, ends up getting a melee that keeps them alive and enables their flag run to continue. And once they get it past this mark, I'm still putting my body between where spawners may come from, making sure nobody's chasing. And once I feel they have the flag secure enough, I get further toward the middle to cut off any other spawners. I don't really know why I'm fighting this player right here. No reason for that. But I get decent damage. That player's stalled long enough. At this point, flag's already in our base. That's game. So you see several flag caps converted because all I am doing is basically being a middle linebacker throughout this game and just making sure no one is getting past me. And even if they do make progress, it's not enough progress for their proverbial first down. And so that is the summary of controlling space. Like, you want to be aware of what's important at any given time, and you want to make sure that, one, the enemy can't get to it, two, if you can, you have that space, or three, just like make sure that you are able to contest that space or help an ally contest that space. And if you do those things, you'll find that even if you have a game where your stats aren't as great, because I'm pretty sure I went like 13 and 15 this game if I were to actually find the stats again, but you'll find that things are going to go a lot better for you if you focus more on just thinking about space in general on the map, rather than, oh, where can I go find a kill? Who's alive? Where are the living people coming from? Don't think about the pieces on the board. Think about what space those pieces need to protect and control. And that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this didn't run too long. I know I don't make a lot of videos. I unfortunately still just don't have as much time. Also, heads down deep working with Native White. Their progress has been amazing. I'm hoping we can get top 3 out of land this year. But we will see. Until then, thank anybody who tunes in. I also have a Metafy now, so metafy.gg/@TiberiusAudley if you want any more personal sort of lessons. Probably should have plugged that at the start of this video, but you know, hindsight's 2020, and that's also my analyst style. But yeah, everyone have a wonderful day. Stay hydrated.